A very good morning to all my dear students. This is Silpreet Kaur. Today we are discussing exercises of history. Chapter number 2, from trade to territory. We have already discussed glossary of this chapter. Now starting with question answers. Question number 1. What attracted European trading companies to India? Means why they got attracted to come to India and do trading. Answer: the European countries were attracted towards India due to the availability of pepper, cinnamon, cloves, sandalwood, silk, and cotton clothes at cheaper rates, which had a huge demand in European countries. They got attracted towards India due to the availability of all these products, all these things in India. That too at a cheap rate, and these all goods were having huge demand in European countries, so they got an opportunity to have huge profits. Next, question number 2. What were the areas of conflict between Bengal Nawabs and the East India Company? Answer: the company was granted a farman by Aurangzeb for carrying out duty-free trade in Bengal. However, the officials of the company who were carrying on private trade activities also refused to pay the duty. This was causing a huge loss to the revenue of Bengal. Means company has taken a farman from Aurangzeb that they can carry on their business in Bengal without paying any kind of tax. That was okay, but the officials, some corrupt officials of the companies were also doing trading without paying any tax. This was causing a huge loss to the revenue of Bengal. So another area of conflict was that the Nawab refused to grant the concessions to the company because they were facing loss, revenue loss. So the Nawab refused to grant concessions to the company and asked them to increase the tributes. Tributes means taxes. So, and also denied them the right to fortify their settlements. You all know that they were fortifying their settlements to to expand their trade, which was not acceptable by the Nawabs. Second, the company, on the other hand, declared that the trade could flourish only if the duties were removed. Okay, so company was arguing with the Nawabs that they want to flourish their trade, and it is possible only when the duties are removed, which was not acceptable by the Nawabs. This was the uh, area of conflict between them. Next, it also wanted to fortify their settlement. It here means the company was also demanding that they want to fortify their settlements and buy villages because they want to expand their trading activities. Next one, the company tried to humiliate Nawab by writing disrespectful letters and not paying taxes, which was again not acceptable by the Nawabs. So these all were the areas that caused conflict between Bengal Nawabs and the East India Company. Now question number 3. How did the assumption of Diwani benefit East India Company? Means when the East India Company got the Diwani rights, how it benefited East India Company actually. Answer number 3. The Diwani allowed the company to use vast revenue resources of Bengal. It means when the company got the Diwani rights, now it allowed the company to use all the resources of Bengal. And if when they are allowed to use all the resources of Bengal, it means they have solved the major problem that the company faced earlier, that was of finance. The British had to import gold and silver from Britain for purchasing Indian goods. But after it became Diwan of Bengal, it used the revenues collected from the province for financing its trade with India, for building the company's fort, and for maintaining its troop. It means the Diwani right had solved all the problems of financing of Britain, of British, those who are ruling in India. Now they use all the revenues collected from the province for financing its own trade in India. Means they don't have to uh, import gold and silver from Britain to purchase goods in India. Now, question number 4. Explain the system of subsidiary alliance. Answer. Subsidiary alliance was a political method. Means it was a method which was used by Britishers to get control over all Indian territories. Main features of this system were: first, the Indian state entering into subsidiary alliance were not allowed to have their independent armed force. Means those Indian states who were entering into subsidiary alliance were not allowed to keep their independent armed force for their own protection. It means now they have to keep company's army for protection and make payment to them for its maintenance. If the Indian states are not paying it with them, then their territory would be taken away as penalty. Territories of Awadh and Hyderabad were taken away on this basis only. Question number 5. In what ways was the administration of the company different from that of the Indian rulers? Answer. If we talk about Indian rulers had a centralized system of administration. It means the king had all the powers and he took take all the decisions. And the army of the rulers largely consisted of cavalry, and was trained in conventional manner. Cavalry means trained soldiers on horses. Next, the company laid down, if we talk about our company, the company laid down sound administrative system in India. They have chosen 3 cities, Bombay, Madras and Kolkata, as their presidencies, and they were the main administrative center of the company. Each presidency was under the charge of the governor. The governor general was the head of the administration, and collector was the principal figure in the Indian district. As the name suggests, his main work was to collect the revenue and taxes and maintain law and order in his district. A new judicial system was also established in 1772. Each district had 2 courts, a criminal court known as Faujdari Adalat, and the civil court Diwani Adalat. Pandits and Maulvis interpreted the Indian laws for them. Means they explained everything about the Indian laws to the Britishers, and thus the British laid down the sound system of administration in India. Means thus they were able to satisfy the Indian laws as well. The British also introduced a uniform military culture where soldiers were provided with European style of training. Means they have changed the army military rules also, and they provided a European style of training to the army. Now moving to the question number 6. Describe the changes that occurred in the composition of company's army. During the 18th century, when the East India Company began recruitment for its own army, it started recruiting peasants and began to train them as a professional soldiers. They have given a very nice European style training to all the soldiers, and they recruited peasants in their army. The army came to be known as Sepoy army. This word has been taken from Indian word Sipahi. It means soldier. Now, like the Mughal army, the company's army was also composed of cavalry and infantry regiment. Cavalry means men on horses, and infantry means foot soldiers, in which cavalry was dominating the army. However, by the early 19th century, the British began to develop a uniform military culture, and they began to provide European style of training for their soldiers. Strict discipline was enforced among its soldiers. At this time, the importance of cavalry declined, as the soldiers had to be armed with the muskets and matchlocks, and infantry regiment became more important. Means when they started recruitment, cavalry was dominating the army, but when they started giving them European style of training, So slowly and gradually infantry regiment become more important because they have to use muskets and matchlocks. Muskets means a heavy gun that is used by infantry soldiers. We have already read about this. This is it for the chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless you all.